Content warning. This is a horror game and not intended for all audience. Please visit our website if you need a specific list of content warnings. This also contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions causes motion sickness in players. If either of these effects cause health issues, you can disable them in game's preferences.
Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included.
Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac. This is Let's Play Slay the Princess. In the last episode we triggered the adversary route, which has her turning into a bloodthirsty demon. And unfortunately I did try the direct approach, and then I tried the subtle approach, and apparently that wishy-washiness led to her being very disappointed and just crushing our skull outright. I feel like at some point I am going to have to start save scumming, but until that point I feel like I should at least explore the routes that I haven't seen on my own before I start hunting for the memories. Speaking of memories, I noticed something. Actually I noticed quite a few things. When you enter specific pages, then it swaps to the music that played in that area. So, resist a god through the force of harms, resist but ultimately succumb, resist through force of will, no weapons. So we didn't get that for some reason, and I'll have to... At some point I'll come back to the tower and try that out, but more importantly down here, fell a god. So there is a chapter 3 to this. But we still have two standard routes, and given that this might be our second last pass, it does mean that there's one more route that we'll have to be clever with. Anyway, we heard the voice of the stubborn last time, now we're joined by voice of the hunted.
Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through.
So yeah, choosing to fight like a coward got us the voice of the hunted.
It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you.
What if I don't agree with the plan? What if I'd rather do something else?
Chooser. The best we can do is advise. But we can help if you let us. These are just powerless thoughts and opinions. You don't need to let them drag you and the world to ruin.
We haven't even talked about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's more like her influence has poured out into the world.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
I want to say bye and leave. No matter what happens next, all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament.
I have no idea what I'd want to do.
No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is already finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
He sounded very quiet compared with all of his the dialogue there. Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it!
That damn mirror's back!
Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there.
Ooh! Ooh! We have the option to smash it!
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Darn it, I was hoping for the option. We could have really solved all our problems there, but he was just too fast.
Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
Voice of the Stubborn
May
doesn't...
as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort.
Voice of the Stubborn isn't getting as much time here, but that's probably because he has to share with the Voice of the Hunted.
The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Go to her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
If you want to fight, then how about you come and get one?
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time. And they'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me.
Continue to the basement.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh. Break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Why don't you want to be free? Why do you insist on fighting me to the death down here in the dark?
This again? What does free even mean? Here and there, none of that matters. I'm always in a body. I'm always in one place. Why do you act like you know me better than I know myself? I had what I wanted. I had something perfect and it ended. And now that it's gone, you just keep dangling it in front of me. It's more than teasing. It's cruel. It's cowardly. It's selfish. I know what I want, and I'm sick of waiting.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rapid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Fallen right into my trap. You sure you want to do this? You're free now, and out here, I have the upper hand. We don't have to fight.
The princess scoffs.
Free? This is just another place. This is just... What is this? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I feel so tired.
Bad touch. You don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave because memory returns. The blind leading the blind. Free someone who didn't want to be free. Let's have a look at what those memories unlocked. Eye of the Needle. The only mistake you made last time was not pushing yourself hard enough. With a skeptic companion, thread the Eye of the Needle, lead her to the other side. Give chase but fail to thread the Eye of the Needle. It looks like it will always get the same ending because it's something that I did notice from the witch. A righteous heart. See through her broken eyes at the end of everything. See through her confident eyes at the end of everything. So we can actually get different endings. So save scumming doesn't give you everything. Ooh. Or rather, if you save scum it, then you'd have to jump straight to the... Where am I going with this? There's stuff tied to the ending based on what choices you make, but sure. So yeah, we can wait in silence for the end. She has left you to die. No, she hasn't. Reject instinct, fight her to the end. Give yourself to instinct to consume. Nothing stopping you from ending this. I told you not to flinch! Anyhow,
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
it's going to be okay. Just trust me.
It feels so bad. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. I'd like to be somewhere nice.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
Right, voice of the stubborn has always been when we're just going all in on fighting the princess, hasn't he? Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. You've withered. And we're in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at a cabin. Approach.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost.
How many more vessels do you need? I think we're on our last
We will
one.
know when we near our destination.
Oh. Okay, we've still got 2 more to go. Don't want to go back anymore.
If you need time, then I will wait with you.
There's no waiting forever. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Bring the eye of the needle to her.
You're on a path in the wood. You're here.
We know about that. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
I'm almost tempted to pick this one, but I want to explore is the problem.
You make your way up the short
And I don't
path
want to
of the
commit
cabin.
yet.
You'll find the princess within.
Let me think about what I want to do here. I want to see what tightening my grip on the knife does.
A warning. Before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely. The blade is your implement.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
There is a very definite shift in the music when you take that blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you.
Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Nah. Steel your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Are you sure she's not
I'm
armed?
positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop...
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Fine, then I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Stare at the princess while holding onto the blade.
Stare at the princess, squinting fiercely. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
Okay. Drop the blade is going to lock us into routes we've seen before, so...
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
Finish the job.
With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder...
Did we get any routes that didn't take the knife? I don't think we did. I think this has been a knife-only route. Which means, I guess, next time you have to go for a no-knife route.
Do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
And your entire scheme is to stop that first part from happening, isn't it? People should be able to spring back to life after dying.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Oh, so that's where Voice of the Cheated comes from. Anyway, I want to look at something. As soon as I find it. The razor. To look too closely is to redraw the lines. Find the prisoner, find the nightmare, find the damsel, find the tower. Is a princess. Find the razor. Find the adversary, find the stranger. I thought you said she wasn't armed! Get her to break her own chains. Always leave a means of easy egress. Everything would be so easy if you would just do exactly as I say as quickly as you can. Find the Spectre. I think get her to break out of her own chains is one of those leave her to rot or don't unlock her endings. Wait. The razor. To look too closely is to redraw the lines. Okay, this must be stabbing her in the back after releasing her when you bring the knife.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed. Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. When we asked you if you were sure she didn't have a weapon on her, you said you were positive she didn't.
Oh, actually, slightly short episode, but let's break it up. Let's see what... We've only got 4 minutes left, so we'll have to get halfway into the episode before we get to see it, so, better to tackle the whole thing in one episode, right? Right. Anyhow, until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.